It's going to be really, really tough to top what just happened here on Speed Gaming 2 in the daily race. But we're going to try our best. And they're underway. How's it going?
Hey, Rick. Hello, everyone.
We got some check.
Yeah, we got some good old rando league going on here. We got ObscureLifeForm versus topplife, Noble Foxes versus Reheated Leftovers, and somebody is looking to get some points here today.
Well, one team's wanting to get their first points, the other team is wanting to get some more points.
So, Rick, what do we got going on? What is this?
Well, we're playing Link to the Past Randomizer.
Yeah,
but
I see that the overlay says Ambrosia still, which is not true.
Well, you see, the reason why it says Ambrosia is because, I don't know.
All right, what we got?
Here's hoping
who
that...
we gotta yell at? What is Ganon up to these days? Is he? This is how low he's gonna go? He's gonna...
Hopefully that button will fix it, and we'll say Randomizer.
Hey, there it is. Open Randomizer, defeat Ganon.
I think we're good now.
All right, now we can start our commentary. Hello, everyone. My name is Willa J. Bradley, and I am here and didn't literally just wake up, I promise. I've been awake for hours preparing for this commentary session.
I don't believe you. Excuse me? Okay, so let's start by explaining to people why there's a spike out here in the middle of Hyrule that's normally in dungeons.
Well, we could also start by explaining why Yoshi looks so dang adorable carrying that fish that he found out of nowhere.
Because he wants rupees.
He wants rupees and bombs and magic. Oh my. Yeah, this is Randomizer. So Randomizer has two features to it. We got an enemy shuffle, so all the enemies in the game are going to be shuffled. Unfortunately, the thieves are going to be killable, and that's a good thing. We also have boss shuffle, and this time we're doing full boss shuffle, which means that all the bosses are going to appear at least once, but 3 of the bosses are going to appear at least twice to replace the bosses that normally show up in Ganon's Tower. And based on how this week's been going, it's been proving quite a challenge.
Yeah, we've had ourselves some real fun with this. Hey, look, Sick Kid has the fire rod.
Nice.
Now
you get a bottle right outside. It's like easy peasy.
Let's talk about what Randomizer does differently for items in this game. First of all, Eastern could be very well beatable at this point, depending on how the keys turn out. Yeah,
that's true. We are using an advanced logic, which means that Fire Rod could replace our lamp just to get to the Armos boss or whomever resides there.
And because it's Randomizer, we don't have the Igors, which are the real reason why you need to have the bow in Eastern in order to beat it under normal games. Many Helmstars turned out to be inside of the rat cage today.
They're not the worst thing, but
oh yeah,
we're sitting at one heart already, and that's the one thing we're going to want to see for these players is a lot of early health, just so we can survive some of these enemies. So we're doing a default enemy health and damage. So there, you see it change up, you know exactly how much health it has, 1,000,000. Infinite.
And you know how much damage it's going to do to you, which is a whole lot.
Exactamundo. So, we also found a hammer here in Kakariko. So Kakariko almost having all of our Dark World access. At this point, we were just looking for a Moon Pearl, and we still have, of course, all of Hyrule Castle to check out. We've got South Shore, we got East Palace area, and as Rick said, we could even see ourselves finding something on the boss of Eastern Palace.
Now let's talk about the boss shuffle. I mentioned it just really quickly, but the boss shuffle, it's really where things can get interesting in this, because you might find a boss at the end of a dungeon that you don't have all the equipment to beat right now. Like we mentioned, at this point, Eastern could be beatable, but maybe it's an Argus, which we need to have the hookshot for. Maybe it's a Cold Stare, which, well, we have the Fire Rod for. Maybe it's a Trinex. Now, how are the bosses distributed in this shuffle of Endomizer?
I already said that earlier, but basically there's going to be at least one of each of them, and then there's going to be 2 sets of 3 of the bosses are going to show up at least twice to represent the bosses that are repeated in Ganon's Tower. There are, of course, certain scenarios where bosses cannot appear, such as Trinex appearing at like the top of Tower of Hera or the top of Ganon's Tower to replace Moldorm. That's impossible. Blind apparently can't appear at Lammolas too, which is strange, but that's because of the bunny beam in the previous room. And Helmasar, for some reason, is still allowed to be at the top of Tower of Hera and at Moldorm too, despite it being very broken.
Why is it broken?
Because if he's standing like over the hole or partially over the middle hole and you whack him with a hammer, it just doesn't count, and you like don't take really any knockback, which makes you very open to him running into you or hurting you. And it just doesn't work all the time. So you kind of almost are forced to use bombs if you have them. But at the same time, then you get like Helmacopter at Skull Woods or Moldorm. So there's 2 ways that are broken. It's either broken in your favor or broken not in your favor.
Also, what this does, by the way, it makes it so the bow is only required for 1 dungeon.
Yeah, technically the bow is only required to get to the boss of Palace of Darkness. So, of course, we do have apparently 2 pendants in the Dark World, so that is a possibility. The one thing I know, if I'm one of these 2 players, at least for Endomizer, is that I'm going to be looking for that lamp, because dark rooms are terrifying when you have no idea what's in them.
Now, here's a brave decision by ObscureLifeForm. Going through a dark room in Endomizer.
I'm mad. I just said not to do it. I hope there's a Lionel in here. You can kind of tell what the enemies are, and fortunately, just based on where the enemies spawn normally in this, since they're replacing the bats, or the geese or whatever, who are kind of in the wall, more often than not, you're going to be fine getting through here. There's going to be nothing actually in your way. But every now and then...
It's that one case where it turns out, hey, look, we're going to give you Lionels and everything else, a bomb slug in the middle of everywhere.
Yeah, like something big's going to like pop out and just wreck you real bad. But ObscureLifeForm makes it through, no problemo. Only gets a couple bombs from the old man up on the mountain. It's kind of nice because I've played a few Endomizers with, and you know, it's really frustrating when you get an enemy that, like, even as something as simple as a Popo here on Top Life side, that has like 30 health or something. You're like, well, all I have is sword or a hammer.
There's our moon pearl. Well, we do see a bow on top of Spectacle Rock. We also saw the moon pearl inside of the mini Moldorm cave. So we now have our Dark World access.
8-minute Dark World access. Do you think Top Life's going to immediately take that into consideration? I would almost assume so with the save and quit, as opposed to going to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, based on the fact that he's already done a save and quit starting back at his house, this is a trip into the Dark World. ObscureLifeForm checking the back 3 of Escape, which we've already saw from Type Life. I believe it was a bottle was the major aspect to this.
Yeah, I think there was a red potion. All right, we do have our Dark World dungeons. It looks like we have green pendant over at Turtle Rock. We got a pendant at Thieves Town, which is really unfortunate because Thieves Town and Endomizer is it's just good. It's real good. And I think the Pyramid Fairy Crystal was either at Skullwoods or Swamp, one of the 2. Which is ironically always the names that I get mixed up. And tons of people do it. They get those names mixed up.
Sword!
Hey, look. Sword. That's a nice find. Now we just need the boots so we can use that sword while stashing.
Yeah, but
nice
instead we're going to just get a whole bunch of money right at this point.
Top Life, I'd say, with a little bit of an early lead. Unfortunately, ObscureLifeForm only getting that info about the bow, but finding nothing else up on Death Mountain. We're going to be heading west over here to go check out Stumpy, hit up the digging game. We got the rupees for that as well. And who knows, maybe we might find our bits on the way there, and we can just head right on into Village of Outcasts. Now, the reason why I like Thieves Town and Randomizer mostly is because of Boss Shuffle. And in Boss Shuffle, you don't often have to save the maiden from her cell. And so usually you can get your big key in the front and literally just walk to the boss room and either beat it and get your dungeon done and then be like, well, I'm never going back here again. Or, find out it's a boss you can't beat and you're like, well, at least I didn't lose that much time.
Yeah, and you can make some interesting gambles based on that. Like maybe if you get 3 out of the 4 items, you can decide to leave the dungeon until it turns out that you have to return to the dungeon because the 4th item is something that is required. Digging game for Top Life, and here's another obscure check that we don't get for a while. Agina.
Yeah, interesting going all the way out here for this check. It's a very slow check, especially for just, being a one-off. But if this ends up being something required, your opponent's never checking this for a long time.
And it is a mail upgrade, and we get ourselves the Cane of Samaria in the digging game.
So both players finding good stuff. I'd say Top Life's item even better, but when enemies are everywhere and hurting you, sometimes having a little bit of a mail upgrade is advantageous.
It sure is.
Alright, so ObscureLifeForm will be getting their Moon Pearl relatively soon. Top Life going to be heading over to see what is on Lake Hylia Island, something to consider as well for the future once you get the flippers and the mirror, but nothing there. This looked like bomb purchase. All right. Who cares about Zora? We don't need that money. Another thing that these players are definitely looking for, just to make things a little bit easier. Watch out, we got rollers. That left lane is like perfectly safe, you're fine. Is a hookshot. Hookshot is a very nice item to find in Randomizer because regardless of how much health an enemy has, there are certain enemies that will always die instantly, but the ability to stun enemies with the hookshot is very nice. Yellow spikes filling up Eastern Palace, or East Palace area, if you will.
Oh, it's always nice to see a bomb slug inside of the water. Good luck with the fake flippers.
So I said something about doing dark rooms earlier, and ObscureLifeForm did it. I'm gonna say something about fake flippery and Randomizer, which is often dangerous and bad, and he's probably gonna do it anyway, so.
Top Life making the way on over to Eastern, dealing with another roller spike. Giant spikes, whatever you want to call them. 20 rupees turned out to be inside the Ice Rod Cave as we get our first peek of a dungeon.
I still have just a natural habit of yelling the name Zarby every time I see a big yellow spike, because it's always on like a tiny bridge, like at Pod or at the end of T-Rock. And I just got to call out the man that's kind of behind all of Randomizer, at least birthed it, I'd say. So.
Oh yeah, Zarby 89.
Mm-hmm.
That person you see in the end credits.
Oh, look, we're getting fake flipper action. Obscure's just going to do everything I recommend not doing in an Randomizer. But that's the thing. He knows his opponent probably won't do it. So if this ends up paying off, that's money right there. But it is getting him... he's not that far behind. We're still early.
Magic Cape and 10 arrows. And we're going to get ourselves a free refill of a bottle. And hey, fairy in a bottle's not a bad thing to get. So, unfortunately, we don't have enough rupees to purchase the Zora item, but we will at least see what's on the ledge. And ObscureLifeForm got Bob, so that put him back into the shallow water, where he's actually walking on the water instead of fake flipper or the moon pearl state there. So he does a save and quit.
So we, for the time being, will not be seeing what was on our good friend under the bridge, what item that was, but we are heading into the dark world on ObscureLifeForm's side. So.
Yeah, he'll be getting that sword real soon.
And that $300.
Which would give him Zora money at this point.
All right, just double confirming it was Swamp Palace. That was our Pyramid Fairy crystal, the one that goes along with Tower of Hera. Of course, we're nowhere near even thinking about going there, just with the items that we have. And holy cow, Topplife he's got a parade. Well, that's smart. Gonna go down, drop down here. You don't see this room very often, but gonna grab these fairies.
At this point, not knowing what to expect the next room, this is probably the best decision that one could make, especially with all the damage they just took. And so now we've got ourselves. Okay, we at least got the key rather easy.
Yeah, that was easy. Just pick the right one right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Usually there's ways of knowing, but sometimes in a room like that, it can be a little bit of a which one do I pick?
It's a bit of a mess sometimes. Especially when you start combining like killable and unkillable enemies, you're like, well, I know that one doesn't have it, but he's standing where he should be.
Absolutely.
All right, well, chat, I guess we're at this point. If you want to throw in your guesses, what you think Eastern Palace is going to have for us. I could see a cold stare just right off the bat. Put that fire rod to even more good use.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this room's not fun. Colorful, but not fun.
Well, hey, at least we do have a magic drop here that'll allow him to take care of a few enemies quite easily, and then get his magic back. All right, first boss we see is.
Hey, I was right.
Called it.
All right. Well, this is going to be really hard. Good luck.
This is going to be an interesting fight. Yeah.
Fighter sword and hammer. No potions. No way to like. If you had more magic, you can just fire rod like crazy. But
yeah,
it's going to be a true test of patience and.
Yeah, 4 hearts already.
Oh, he's got a rib potion.
Oh, it didn't use in time.
You know, that blue mail might have been pretty helpful, but not really. Blue mail would have
been at least a little bit of a less dangerous fight. Although Cold Stare does 3 hearts damage, so it still would have been 2 hits and you're dead.
Yeah, but now he knows there is one of the Cold Stares. Now there could, of course, be another one hidden somewhere, or that's it and you're done. But yeah, it's unfortunate to walk away without a crystal in hand. But welcome to Randomizer, baby. That's how it goes. That's why I didn't race this week.
Yeah, I still have the race this week coming up on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Let's talk about these runners real fast here. They come out of the Skull Woods division.
Ah, they're like my older brother. So I'm in the Lost Woods division. Hey, brother. Good luck.
The reheated leftovers on your right-hand side of the screen. Topplife is the blue pendant. Dazed Cloud is the red pendant. And Mystic is the green pendant representative. They're 2 and 2 this season. Noble Foxes. Angel Z is the green pendant. Noble E is the red pendant. And ObscureLifeForm is the blue pendant.
I gotta say, I have, for those that don't know, I have like a whole like spreadsheet that I track for like the entire league. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had more fun just like keeping track of all the data than actually racing. But then again, I've only raced once, and that was last week in a nail biter. So, but after this week, I get to race like literally every week. So, and what modes are we looking at for the future? We got mystery.
Yeah, it's going to be a league-weighted mystery coming up next week where we could get Randomizer another go-around. We could be getting an entrance shuffle. We could be getting ourselves a reduced crystal game as well. Chat's telling us that Topplife found a flute here in Village of Outcasts.
He won it in a prize. He just had to open the right chest, and the right chest was 2. The one on the left, second from the bottom. Congratulations. Well, we are Independent Thieves Town. We got, Skull Woods on our left. That is going to be a crystal and potentially completable, depending on what boss is hidden in the back there. I do think an Argus can still show up at Skull Woods.
Yeah, there's certain bosses we can't have in Skull Woods, but there are some that we can still have that still could come into play.
That little Yoshi egg, so cute.
Absolutely.
I love this sprite. It's one of my favorites. Alright, well, I mean, there's 4 items here in Thieves Town. We have the hammer, so we can full clear everything. Potentially, there are the flippers, so that opens up that magic cape. We did see Bumper Ledge having just 3 bombs, so I'm not going to worry about that.
Oh, Obscure Lifeform killed something, but it wasn't the hand. Got grabbed. Back to start.
I wonder if it's one of those double hand Randomizer shenanigans where sometimes there's 2 hands stacked on top of each other, or
Could
multiple
be.
hands. Because several times I've like tossed a pot at a Wallmaster and then walked into it and he still grabbed me because there was a second one there. Oh, looks like we got land molas here.
Yeah.
And no magic, so I'm gonna have to use hammer strats or better sword spins. Which normally you would think is not that bad, but you know, these guys hurt. So it looks like Toplife's saying, nah,
I'm alright for now.
I'll come back.
I'm good. At least it's now nice to know that we have that in our pool, and holy cow, that was a room. All for a key.
Oh, that roller's on the top layer, so it didn't hit him. That's funny. Yeah, that's another thing with Randomizers. Layers kind of make things a little wacky. Like, let's say there's a fire bar, like the little rows of fireballs that are spinning around. Doesn't matter what layer they're on, they'll hit you no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
But, you can walk over a roller, no problem. Wow. Dead rock in this room. Arbos. Yeesh.
Look at that kid just normally there.
Oh, got him. Oh no, the back section here was filled with more Gyptos. Oh no, he just moved over here. He literally just swapped it. Oh no, there's also a Molder.
All right, here we go. Boss number 2. Boss number 3, actually. Obscure Lifeform
It's
gets
another land mola.
All right, well, that means we won't see any more Lammola for the rest of this seed.
Ooh, immediately missing 4
4.
fire rod shots. That's rough.
5, 6.
We'll be back here. Unless, you got a heart and a half in a fairy in a bottle. Yeah.
Just a reminder, we will only see the boss maximum of 2 times, so we know we will not see any more Lammolas for the remainder of the seed. A top life activating the flute. Obscure Lifeform trying to deal with the moving floor. I think that might be the worst thing about this Lammo fight.
Worst thing about this Lammola fight is not having any magic.
Well, yeah, that too, but I mean the floor that takes you out of your normal cycles.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so 2 Lammolas and a cold stare. All of which proving to be very difficult for these players. Obscure gonna have to drink another potion, or that red potion, another bottle. Gonna keep going for it. Let's see. I have not been keeping track. Top Life going for that dark room, but fortunately, we'll be able to do it from the back to front, which is a little bit faster.
Just gotta be patient with this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Getting lucky.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, getting lucky, the bounce bag is pushing him into that block.
It's kind of just a product of Randomizer and or, you know,
2 down.
And is you just got to be patient. It's better to be slow than to be
3 down. Good job.
Obscure gets that first crystal. Only getting a compass, unfortunately, but crystal is good, taking a 1 crystal lead. Top life is heading on over to Ice Rock Cave. So what's next? What is our big item that we're looking for to open things up? Rick?
Titan's Mitt, hook shot. A big
Really?
Titan's Mitt, hook shot, mirror would be the big 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. Hookshot and Mir will get you up to East Death Mountain, as
Yep.
well as Hera. Mitz would open up the Mire area,
Mm-hmm.
and Ice Palace, as well as Smith Chain. So
Yep.
that is what we are looking for. So Toplife never went to Skull Woods at all, which is strange.
Yeah, but those flippers are drawing him away from Skull Woods at this point. Probably wants a little more light before he's tackling that, knowing what he already saw in Cold Stare.
That's true. I mean, I feel like that's one of the things that kind of happens in Randomizer seeds with the boss shuffle, is that you kind of lean towards getting as many items from the overworld before tackling dungeons, so you have a much higher chance of being able to actually complete it.
So why do you come in here and pretend like you have something that I want?
Oh, the gold bee! No! We got a fairy from this, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
That's very useful.
Yes, it is. Extremely useful for both of these runners. You never know what's going to be in the next hallway in this
Right.
in this game. You know, Randomizer can definitely do something to you.
I've got so many wonderful clips of Randomizer doing its thing. My favorite is still, I was swimming up to Hobo, and the minute I screen transitioned, a large roller spawned literally on top of my head. Like, it was perfect. And of course I died instantly. So it's like, Randomizer.
That sounds rude.
It was rude. And I probably exclaimed that it also wasn't fair. But
And
I
you
say
probably-
that every single time.
And he probably said some words that weren't exactly family friendly.
Probably not. All right, only a heart piece off of Zora, and we got Obscure heading into Thieves Town. We might see a little bit more of this dungeon on the left side as opposed to what Toplife did.
Well, the thing is that getting the piece of heart from Toplife means that the loose square that is going to be Zora for Obscure Lifeform is not going to come back to haunt him, because he's already saw what's on the ledge. He already grabbed the two items that are inside of the waterfall. So Zora to him is going to be a not necessarily a priority. So
Yeah, for him, I'd probably just try and put it off until he got Mirror so you can do Catfish Zora.
yeah, and even then, it's like at this stage.
Lost Woods. Must not run into enemies. I gotta say, this blue mail is actually starting to really pay off for Obscure. I mean,
That
also it's just a nice confidence booster too.
Yeah. That blue mail definitely helped him out in regards to getting through that Skull Woods fight against the Lamola. As Toplife is heading for Skull Woods right now without that blue mail, but does have the safety of the fairy in the bottle as well as a red potion. Obscure Lifeform getting the flippers and have decided, nope, I'm done.
So yeah, we're gonna be leaving the back half of Thieves Town behind. Was it 3 items in the front or 2? It almost seemed like it was 3. Otherwise, these guys might have been more interested in continuing.
I want to say for Thieves Town it was 3 items.
I remember the heart container and the flippers. I just don't remember what was in the second chest. Oh, there it is. See, on Toplife side, he tossed a pot at a Wallmaster. It exploded, but it was also still just fine. So, you gotta keep an eye out for that. There's all these little like quirks about Randomizer that you just learn from experience, like getting knocked down a hole by a thief. Or Wallmasters in precarious locations, like the end of Ice Palace or at the top of Ganon's Tower. It is a fortunate learn by mistake scenario.
There's both items inside of Skull Woods, so Toplife is done with at least this section. Just all he needs to do now is head on towards Lamo, or, well, we know it's Lamo, but the Mahila position to finish off this dungeon. But with 1 heart remaining, gonna have to play it until he gets inside somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, the shadows lurk.
Someone typed the name of those enemies in chat yesterday, and I'm like, do I want to start using that word, that term? It's a silly name. It's like calling the Pokies Hoku Bokus. It's just a silly name.
I'll just call it the shadows.
Shadow Lads. There we go. they tend to show up a lot in Randomizers, and usually in large numbers. The nice thing about them is that their hitbox kind of sticks out, even if they're not on screen. So you can hit them while they're invisible with like a hook shot or a bow. Sword beams work, fire rod, everything works basically. Or if you find a room that you think there's a bunch of them in there, just pop an ether and it'll just take them all out real quick. It's nice.
That's really good to know.
Yeah.
Also really good to know is that giant magic refill that was there in the Big Key region of Skull Woods, which we just saw topplife pick up, because as you go in here with very limited magic, obviously you definitely need something to light those torches, but you also got to do it as a defensive way because you never know what you're going to find for the bosses of these dungeons.
Mm-hmm. It might be worth taking that flute and go picking up a blue potion at some point. I mean, the magic refill would have helped out topplife in that cold stare fight earlier. Speaking of fight, this one's gonna last forever. Just dude, just toss a bomb. Bombs will, oh, that works. Yeah, you get a heart back, so it's fine. Bombs are interesting because they'll stun those enemies. Oh, he got the quadrant glitch. What? Oh, that's amazing. Did he get it from killing? Oh,
I
wow.
do not know how that happened. All I know is that I was replying to somebody in chat, and I look up, and you're talking about the quadrant glitch.
Dude, he must have got it from hitting that hard hat beetle. It's the only thing from doing a spin-off of him. It's weird because you only see that usually in like Thieves Town or sometimes GT after like Moldorm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had that happen before with Moldorm too.
Mm-hmm. So neat. Well, fortunately that didn't cost
bye,
him
Arbos
really...
Knight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't cost him really too much time, so he's fine. But he's got to be careful. You just want to keep as much health as possible at all times. We are seeing something new over on ObscureLifeForm's side. Only going to be a compass over here in the Lamplock section of Eastern Palace. Nice. Cool little double spin.
Yeah, that was a really good, clean kill of that mini Moldorm.
You've seen one land molars, but have you seen two?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, but topplife is the one who knows that both land molars are now out of the pool.
Which is kind of not very, like, it doesn't really give you much information because it's such a low item required boss.
Right.
Like, it'd be better to be like, okay, I know where all the Trinexes are, or okay, there's no more cold stare left, so we're good.
Yeah, but knowing where there's a boss that has no item requirement is also nice to know, because once they're out of the pool, now you gotta start thinking, does this boss have an item requirement that I'm about to go in blind to? Now, ObscureLifeForm better get some magic in this next room.
That's true. Otherwise
he's about to get a rude awakening.
He's gonna have to get creative here.
There it is.
Wow.
Nice bailout.
Magic drop. Topplife grabbing that crystal out of Skull Woods, so we are tied up.
Nice one heart kill.
Oh yeah, because he had used his fairy like in the overworld on the way over to his part, so good job.
Alright, let's see how ObscureLifeForm does against the cold stare.
He's got blue mail and an extra heart container, maybe two? No, at least one extra heart container over when Topplife was over here. Yeah, with blue mail, they still do 3 hearts. So he can take one more cold stare hit or 2 icicle hits before he's in 1 hit KO. Oh,
well, there's that one hit right there. Trying to dodge him right now, trying to keep himself protected. This is where oh, that was close. This is where I'd go to. Oh, wow. Oh!
There's one down. All right.
One down.
Now, don't let that get to your head. You still gotta play it real safe.
Yes. Ooh.
Oh,
that was close.
That was scary. like jumping out of my seat.
I'm trying to finish my sentence from earlier, but I can't. 2 down.
Dude, 1 to go. Will he pull
3
it
down.
He does. Very
Good
nice.
job. Hard container for the reward, but the satisfaction that you just killed that gold stare. With 1 heart remaining, might be the bigger satisfaction of them all.
All right, well, Obscure takes a 2 crystal lead. Seem to have a little bit of a tech issue over on Top Life side. Hope everything is fine. We can get that up and running shortly. But in the meantime, just look at that Yoshi strut.
I was gonna say though that yeah, I would go defensively with sword swings at that point just to get him away from me, but sometimes that doesn't work.
I mean, that's the thing is like if you're in a pinch, you can, but like fighter sword spins do so little damage that you're just like you're gonna make the fight last longer. And I don't know, it just seems like that fight gets harder the longer it goes on.
Hopefully we'll see Top Life back here in just a moment.
All right, so at this point, we are kind of down to continuing in Thieves Town or Catfish Pod. I think that or Catfish Pyramid Pod. All right, well, we got Top Life back. No idea what was at the Catfish, so if he did get something useful, we'll have to wait till he pauses his game next time, but we are on the move.
So this is the beginning of a really busy evening of league matches. Week number 3, Randomizer definitely throwing some wrinkles for some of our runners. Mystery next week should be a lot of fun.
I feel like this is the week where teams are really going to start to solidify their positions in the league, either taking first like completely outright, and it's going to be really hard for anyone else to like catch up, or teams are going to really start to fall down the bottom. So I, of course, am hoping that Noble Foxes can pull out a win and get some points on the board.
Yeah.
That would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, they kind of really need it at this point to at least stay in contention for the Skullwoods division as we get to the Hobo from ObscureLifeForm. Took it easy, didn't rush it. Gets the hook shot from the Hobo. That is beautiful. That gets us up to the mountain.
And just think, if Top Life hadn't goofed up when it was in Zora's Domain and took damage and lost his water walk, he probably would have had that sooner. So yeah, we are going to East Death Mountain, and we can actually route all the way up and around to go to Tower of Air at this point.
Yes, we can.
Of new info coming up. We got some new content for you all, and maybe we will find that Titan mitts, or that mirror, or hey, maybe a sword, or the boots.
I would like to think that we're going to find a Titan Smith up for here on the right-hand side of the mountain. Taking a look at the Skullwoods division. Team Awesome undefeated heading into this week, 4-0. Shovel is the true go mode is 3-1, tied with Upstar Wire. Yes, you niche. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not German. 3-1. Then you have Hime, Major Mistakes, which was just a mistake that I tried to repeat that. Reheated Leftovers, all 2-2 with 6 points. And then you have Feline Paralysis and Noble Foxes sitting with 0-4 records here in week number 3.
We're getting new information on both sides. We got a bunch of mini Helmisars here in Paradox Cave. Gonna toss that bomb over to hit that switch. And hopefully use this hammer to kill these guys.
Don't leave the dungeon, Top Life. You're not bow blocked. There we go.
Wow, whole lot of nothing thus far. So now it's kind of just down to what is in Spiral Cave, Rick's favorite cave, and
Shut up.
Man, I hope they find something good over here. Speaking of
If they get nothing on if they get something big in Spiral Cave, I'm leaving right now.
Speaking of leaving, I'm gonna go find me a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, so as I just noted here, Top Life is going over to the right-hand side. Now, in the normal portion of this game, this would be bow blocked because of the mimics coming up in Randomizer. We're not going to be coming up to the mimics, so these two chests over on the right-hand side, They are not bow blocked. The only thing about Palace of Darkness that's bow blocked is the very, very end, because you have to strike the statue with the arrow. So here we have Pendigators, which that hook shot would have been really nice. But we do have Quake, which would kill them as well. Spravel Cave has the Ice Rod. And if we see a Trenex, I'm out of here.
What do we find, Rick?
We have an ice rod in that Spiral Cave, so if we see a Trinex as any of these bosses, I'm out of here.
Well, I went ahead and headed on over to Tower of Hera for Obscure Life. He doesn't have to go there now. I did find a cup of coffee over there, so we're good to go.
Cape Strat's here for Top Life just to get through this room. He wants to bomb that room to the right-hand side to pick up the fairy before he takes one more bop off this beetle.
See, this would be a case when having the hook shot would be very helpful.
Oh, yeah. Here we go to the Tower of Hera for ObscureLifeForm.
Oh, yeah, and if he finds a mirror in here, he can immediately go get that bow that's sitting over on top of Spectacle Rock.
Yep, which would be required for Top Life to beat this dungeon.
There is another bottle.
Oh, Top Life is just going to take the death at this point.
Yeah, he realizes...
He's got the hammer, so he could easily just move on down to the bottom side. But I guess at this stage, we're just going to go take the death so we can go back to the top area.
I don't... Not understanding that logic too much. Alright, so here's the funny thing. This spike here is going to hit him while he's falling, so he's very fortunate that it's not randomized enemy damage. Let's see if he can get this good old Hera pot.
Yeah.
Hera pot. Should it be legal? I don't know.
Council says yes, so here...
Council says yes.
Council says yes, so we say yes as far as the league is concerned. Top Life getting here to the top of the stairs, and we find the Book of Medora at the big key location of the Palace of Darkness.
Ugh. Blech. I don't like the book. I don't. Hera pot is like ridiculously powerful, especially like in Ambrosia, where you know that an enemy has the boss has the last item. Speaking of bosses, we got a Mothula up here, so we got some new enemies coming up. Mothula basically stripped of anything that would give him, cause of fear. You can just fire rod to your heart's will, hammer out the rest.
Yeah, or just hammer him 4 times. You just gotta dodge his fire beams, and that's about it. There's crystal number 3 for ObscureLifeForm.
Now the question is, did we get both items already?
I don't think so.
Okay, well that means we gotta go into the basement to get that big key, because the last item is gonna be in that big chest, and it looks like Obscure is gonna head back up, because the last thing you want to do is lose a race because you did Hera pot. And surprisingly, it seems to happen quite often. And it's very funny.
Oh, Top Life doesn't have any magic to light the torches down here, so he's going to have to do this in the dark. Has a guard right on top of him.
Seems there's a guard on top of him. Yeah, he's going to want to find... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. He doesn't have the bow, so he doesn't have to worry about having magic for the rest of this dungeon. But, I'm starting to believe that maybe that hookshot led to that book. We might find some progression over in Desert Palace at this point. Especially whilst we have no Master Sword to get the items off of Ether Tablet. And we have no way of getting the Bombo's Tablet. We can at least get information about what's there before we head on out, so... Curious to see how this Dark Maze goes for Top Life. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Dark Maze at all, especially in the dark. And generally, if I do the Dark Maze, I'll always hammer jump, even if I don't already have the big key, just because I know it better going from the big chest to the top as opposed to the other way around.
Well, nice dispatching of the Hinex there.
Yeah, Hinoxes are weird because despite how how much health they have, they take one bomb and they die. So
Oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun. That anti-fairy.
yeah, you can kind of get an idea of where you are based on it, but it looks like Top Life is going to get to the bottom. Not going to be able to see what's there yet, and we just get another 300 here in Tower of Hera. So that was not the answer.
Final destination here for Top Life, and he gets a bee in a bottle, which is a whole lot better than a fairy in a bottle.
It looked like he got maybe the map was in that chest. Maybe. Either way, that's not the answer. We're still on the hunt.
That book could mean something.
Yeah, so either we're looking at... One second. Excuse me. We're looking at... we have Desert, Spike Cave, and... I think that's it. We've already did Catfish. We didn't see what it was, but we've already done it. What do we got here?
Hi!
Oh, that's really annoying.
Why is that annoying?
Because when Top Life gets up there, he's going to get that afterwards and then have to go all the way around to go to either tablet when he gets that book. Or with that book.
Oh, good point.
Unless he does Spike Cave like right away, which is possible. I mean, it is available to him right now. He could do it.
Top Life's next destination is going to be...
Have we not been to the... We haven't been to the front
of
of
the hobo.
Have we been to the front of... Have we seen
We have
Iron
not-
Castle before?
No.
Oh my gosh. I just completely wrote it off at this point. I mean, we're 46 minutes in.
And neither of these runners have made it here.
It's got to feel pretty bad if you're 46 minutes in and this is where like the myths or the mirror or one of the progression items are. It's like, well, I feel immensely behind now.
If this turns out to be the boots that we'll be seeing coming up here, then you really oh god.
Oh no. Yeah, when you miss boots in like Sphere 1, that feels pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. And little does ObscureLifeForm know that if he does see something like that here, he'll be the first one to touch him.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. That's the important thing about playing this game and racing in like 1v1s is metagaming. Because you're thinking, oh, crud, my opponent definitely got this, and now I'm super far behind. But in this case, he would.
Yeah, only to find out that no, you're not.
It's really interesting because a lot of times when you put in this kind of position, you want to like make some big stupid plays that hopefully pay off. Like, I don't know, like diving. This is an example, but like diving swamp without hook looking for something, or going to that one pendant dungeon you don't want to go to, and then all along, or like gambling tile room, and then all along you weren't behind at all, but now you are because you did that.
Yeah, and it's tough to see because we as viewers, we can see both streams. We know that the play that they're making is putting them further behind in a race where they weren't really that far behind. You don't know when you're the runner. When you're sitting there at the computer screen or looking at your console, for those who play on the console, you don't know what your opponent is up to. For all you know, your opponent just did the complete opposite of what you did, and they are currently in Ganon's tower while you're trying to finish off your 5th crystal. And then you sit there and you wonder why where's the dot done? Why haven't I seen a dot done?
Why am I still playing? I mean, that's the thing, is like at the same time, like you could feel incredibly behind, and then your opponent finishes 8 seconds after you. You're like, well, all right.
I mean,
that's the fun part about this game. It's like we've also seen so many. We have had. Oh, there was a bomb there. I didn't see that earlier. We have. We've seen tie. We've had one tie in this tourney so far. It was in my division, in the Lost Woods division, so it is possible.
Yes, it is.
Very
we
possible.
nearly had a second tie in your division. Oh, the mirror!
It was there the whole time. You know, honestly, maybe for just to be nice, maybe we should have done basic item placement for the Randomizer week, just because that is that room is obviously required in Logic because you have the fire rod. But like,
now that means Willard,
what?
that the lamp could very well be in Swamp Palace.
It probably is. There's a very good chance of it. The nice thing is now Obscure can just immediately take that mirror and go check out what it was on Ether Tablet and get this bow. It's another piece of the puzzle, so.
Now, here's a good move here by topplife. You saw that blue rupee drop from the Staphos, but he didn't grab it while it was going up into the air because that could have very well have undid what he's trying to do right now with this Harapop.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird arbitrary things because if you pick up an item while it's like mid-flight, like that, like a rupee or a heart, it will change some arbitrary values that all of a sudden can mess up what direction your bombing will do. I'm sure at some point someone has tried to like bomb jump to the big chest in Skull Woods, and for whatever reason your bombs send you south instead of up. I think it's that scenario, or at least related to that in some way. The game's weird, man. That's all I can say.
It really is.
It's so weird.
It is.
But it's exciting that people are still like figuring stuff out and learning stuff and breaking the game further. Who would have thought after this many years we're still finding ways to break this game wide open?
And there's been a whole lot of advances since the very first tournament back in 2017.
Yeah, speaking of, I believe you can currently still play a version 18 throwback seed, at least for the rest of this month. You head on over to the Discord and hit up Sahas Ralabot. He'll hook you up.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some big race coming up at the end of this month in regards to the celebration of the 3 years that it's been since the very first tournament.
It's crazy to have been there from the start, just to see how much this community has grown and how much Kiki hates you right now for letting that bird touch you. How dare. All right, well, curious to see if
Almost tried it again.
the bird came back. All right, so no lamp, but if you're capable of doing that dark room,
I've got an interesting question.
Let's
I've
hear
got an
it.
interesting question here.
All right, let's go.
If the mugger touches you when you have Kiki, do you lose Kiki because you don't get hit? I mean, you don't get hurt.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say yes. Because Kiki is the only thief around here, and he sees the mugger taking your rupees. He's like, oh, I could have stolen that. I'm out of here. Jealousy, dude. It's jealous.
Don't forget, we could still very well see our progression at the Ether Tablet. And now with the mirror, or at least now we know where the mirror is, progression could be on the Bombos Tablet.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I got mixed up. So I was like, oh, Obscure's gonna go up and get that Ether Tablet, but he doesn't have to.
He soon
Just
will.
in here. Yeah. That could be our progression, but that would be terrible. Looks like topplife wanted to head back up, but didn't hit the switch, and a lot of times for setting up Parapot, you use those blue blocks up at the top left to kind of line up perfectly, and they weren't there. So looks like toplife's going to take the long way around. It's interesting. It's kind of still, I mean, I have no idea who's going to win this one.
I still don't know if I'm still here with commentary for you, together with you in the next 30 minutes, because we've yet to see a Trinex.
Listen, he'll show up.
Yes, he will, and then I'll leave.
Dude, I almost got to do solo comms. I can't believe you took that away from me. No, I'm glad you're here, because
Solo commentary is hard work.
It's hard, especially because I literally just woke up and got the ping to do commentary. I was like, oh, okay. Well, good thing I'm awake now. This is my first cup of coffee of the day. Isn't that exciting? It's great.
That's something I've never really have ever thought about, just jiggling the camera like the way that topplife just did to get that switch down.
Oh yeah, where you kind of go up and down. It kind of scrolls the camera a little bit, little by little.
Hey, we are gonna see what's on this tablet.
Maybe.
We won't know exactly what's on it. Oh, that's the mitts!
There's the mitts! Okay. So Top
So-
Life just has to go do Spike Cave and then go back up. And then this is gonna be a
Oh, he's
doesn't
got to do.
appear.
He's got to do. Oh no, he's got to spiral too. So he's gonna go away from Spike Cave.
Okay, well, I can't imagine Obscure not heading back up after getting the book to go check that, because everything's leading up to this moment. The mirror, the hook shot, the hammer, the book, everything, the Master Sword right there. Everything is leading up to those mitts. And I mean, with those mitts, we would be. Well, we haven't seen either of our medallions because we don't have the mitts. So we don't know if we're in go mode yet, but baby steps. That would also get him that Bombos over on Floating Island. So Death Mountain.
It would.
That's where everything's hanging out.
So Top Life is gonna do a save and quit here. Are we going to start back up on the mountain though? That is the big question.
I don't know. At this point, I could see Spike Cave getting put off.
Yes, we are going back home. Top
He
Life
gonna
is
get
heading
his. Excuse me.
for
Sorry.
castle.
He's gonna get his mirror. That's good.
If he decides to go through the dark room.
He would. He should. He better. He knows. He would not do it. But at this point, though, he might head to Swamp next afterwards. But so might Obscure. He might be like, "Oh, dude, Bombo's tablet, Swamp, let's go," just like that. And those mitts are gonna hang out up on Death Mountain a little bit longer. And there's always a sword in swamps, so that could be another sword.
That's the fascinating thing about having 4 swords in the pool.
Now the other curious thing is, are we going to be seeing the rest of this dungeon from Obscure? I mean, he's got to at least go for it, but it's kind of unfortunate he doesn't have much magic left. But you only really need 1 fire rod shot to light the torch in Turtle Room. But yeah, depending on what assortment of enemies are there, it might prove to be relatively difficult.
You don't know what's crawling and lurking inside of those dark rooms. I'm just glad it's not Lionel's on the pathway to what would be the Helmazar King's path.
I don't think I've. Well, yeah, I've seen Lionel's on that path. I don't think I've ever seen Lionel's in the Turtle Room. No, now he's completely out of magic, so this is going to be. He has 2 blue goose. He went to the potion shop. Well,
They both went to the potion shop.
that's smart. All right. Well, then he should use one here. Yeah, because it's Randomizer. You want to make sure you can kill every boss. And at this point, we can kill every boss. We have hookshot, we have both the rods. The only thing that would be helpful would be silvers and another sword.
For certain.
All right, looks like Top Life is going to take that Death Warp back. So we'll be getting his mirror relatively soon, and then it's just a question of where
do
you
we go next? Where do we go
I'm
next?
assuming I'd see Swamp.
Oh,
Swamp
by the
would
way-
probably be next. Huh?
Hey, Willard.
Ah,
You know what this mirror's gonna do for Top Life?
it's gonna let a mirror out of Hyrule Castle.
That's correct.
Huh?
You know what it's also gonna do?
It's gonna let him get his bow.
That's right!
Okay.
And what's around the corner from the bow?
Oh, the mitts. But first, he needs to get Sword House. Spike Cave.
Also the Master Sword.
And the Bombos, but he can't get that yet.
Right, but more importantly is the fact that when he gets the mirror, he can go get the bow. He knows he needs to get the bow.
And there's no reason to go up there and do that and not do Spike Cave. Like,
That's
if you don't do
right.
it then.
Now you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, all right. And, you know, if he can beat this boss, there is no
Vanilla!
boss. I was saying if he's not fighting a boss. I saw a dark room, I was like, is he gonna fight a boss? He's not gonna have the magic though, but he does have a blue potion. Where are you going?
Are we fluting to 1 or are we fluting to 4? We are fluting to 4s. The mitts will stay there for a while longer.
I mean, I feel like a bow would be just so helpful, especially if you run into a Vitreous or something.
Or Armos Knights.
Or Armos Knights, because that's a really slow fight when you don't have, you know, Gold Sword. Or Burna. Burna makes that fight pretty fun. But,
And we...
you're taking another crystal. 4 crystals to 2 currently. So Obscure quite in the lead and looking good for Noble Foxes, potentially getting their first win of the tourney.
That's right. Other action in the Skullwoods division, Feline Paralysis, the other 0-4 team, is taking on Shovel is the True Go mode, Hime versus Team Awesome, and then Major Mistakes is facing off against Upstawari's Niche.
Nailed it.
No, I didn't.
Did you say Major Mistakes is majoring in something? Majoring in taking on that team?
They very well could be. Would make this division a little more interesting. Team Awesome being the undefeated team in the Skullwoods division.
Yeah, there's some teams that are already sitting at a powerful 18 points. It's kind of crazy. But when you never lose, well, them points start to really just add up.
There's only one team that is currently sitting at 18 points.
Mm-hmm. That's team Kinda Rando Retired of the Kakariko division. But we don't talk about them because we don't like them. The division, not those in particular.
Well, here's the interesting thing is that the 2 teams that are potentially going to 18 points at this stage, the 2 teams that have more than 12 points are in that division. Kinda Rando Retired, currently 6-0, and I like Big Boots, sitting at 5-0.
Be curious to see when those 2 actually face off.
I'll give you that answer in just a moment.
It's not next week, so it's going to have to be during co-op week. Or no, there's still a 5th week of non-co-op.
I like Big Boots versus Kinda Rando Retired is week 6, the spoiler week.
Wow. That could be the deciding week for who's going to actually take first overall in division, so it should be pretty exciting. We are seeing Bombo's tab at only Big 20. But it looks like both players are going to be heading into Swamp Palace, so those Titan mitts are going to take a hike for a bit. Speaking of taking a hike, Top Life's frames are going the way of the, what are they called? Octoblimps? The little guys that explode into little dudes?
Yeah, the enemy that there's only one of in the entire game, but yeah, in Randomizer you could be dealing with 17 of them.
They're all over the place.
Yep, the power of Randomizer right there is will get Top Life squared away. I think he's dealing with some internet issues in this case. Some other good matches here in week number 3.
Let's hear them.
Well, I know you're facing off against some grouchy old men.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be tomorrow. My boy JP. Yeah, that's the other teammate that didn't already race this week because I'm not racing.
How about 2 Pearl, 2 Furious taking on Yutang Clan?
Ooh.
I think both of their races are tonight.
Trinex versus Stolsky, I think. And Imosaro versus... just trying to go off the top of my head. But my... wait, I got it! It's... Oh, I didn't write it down. Never mind. Oh, Scary Olive. Okay, yeah.
There we go.
We got there. Alright, Swamp Palace, pretty long dungeon, and...
That's why we're talking about other matches in this league this week. We got Forfeiters Are Us and Spear Affinity, both teams 3-1. They were hoping to get game number 1 of this week's 2 matches last night. with Data Plat versus Saboteur. Unfortunately, their Data Plat ran into some technical issues, and they're going to redo their match on Thursday. Could be some real hot matches here to see who can maybe slow down the front runners of the top of the divisions.
Yeah, I mean, we're like halfway through week 3, and we've already seen quite a few upsets just overall, like some unexpected turnarounds and some wins from some actually relatively new players, at least to the racing scene, the competitive scene. We've had a lot of first-time SRL runners actually taking names. It's been pretty crazy to watch.
Plenty of runners who you really can't sleep on.
Yeah. It also just goes to show that, you know, there's a lot of people that play this game a ton, but maybe never race it, and are basically like hidden bosses. Because, you know, if they decide to race, then you're like, oh, this is fine. They've never raced before. I got this. And then all of a sudden they pull out some ridiculous time. So you never know. That's the thing, is you should take every match very seriously. This is very serious business.
Oh, absolutely.
What I'm saying is, just don't sleep on anyone, because you never know. It's also random. So.
And we're about to get some more items here in just a moment. Where are you going? Just walk through the wall. This isn't Zelda 1. How do you walk through the wall? Oh, that's disgusting.
There's the lamp.
Mirror blocked lamp.
Just like you said.
Yes.
I was waiting for it to be in. I always love it when it shows up in like T-Rock or whatever. Have we seen any dungeon items yet, or has this just been full clear city?
Wait a second.
Topplife.
Topplife is back up on the mountain. We will get you some more information in just a moment.
You know, based on how this is looking, it might be map and compass on left side swamp.
That's the dream. And here's Mothula number 2.
Oh, it is. Well, no, they have the big key. Yeah, they just got that one. So could go back in for one item, or he might have just bailed out after killing Moth. So yeah, 2 land molas, 2 moths, 1 cold stare, 1 Helma. I think that's all we've seen so far.
And there's the compass, unfortunately. So there is going to be an item on the left-hand side. There's the crystal for ObscureLifeForm. 5 crystals so far.
2 to go, but those 2 are locked by those tight mitts sitting up on Ether Tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Topplife is going to go grab this bow, and now the question is, do we go and check Spike Cave?
I could have sworn he already... Did he find a sword?
He must have found a sword somewhere.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he did.
There's always a sword in swamp, right? It's just the rules. All right, well, Topplife, mitts in hand, and he has a lot he can do now. So he's gonna head on over, probably get that Bombos tablet, check out what's on Dark Death Mountain. Oh, it might have been Pyramid Fairy that could have had that sword.
Could be.
We'll have to wait and see.
Unfortunately, during the 3-minute hiccup there, we really didn't get a whole lot of information. We know that Topplife did beat Swamp. Now, again, it could very well be a scenario where Topplife got at left side Swamp, ObscureLifeForm has left that behind. It could very well be a case here where Topplife never goes into Spike Cave, too.
Yeah, it's true. And Obscure could be up a sword for the rest of the match, which is pretty big when you still don't have silvers.
So Green Pendant Turtle Rock is blocked by the Bombos.
It's on the floating island, so...
That is right, which is right underneath the doorstep.
Well, this is interesting, though. I feel like...
Red mail. So no, okay. Sword was in swamp.
Sword was in swamp somewhere, either probably maybe in the big chest, or one of the 2 spots on left side, unless Topplife got that sword elsewhere while we weren't looking. Fortunately, with all these hiccups, we're kind of missing a lot of these checks. So
we do got Tempered Sword. So there was a sword and hook shot. So we know we have a hook shot, or we know we have a tempered sword.
Now we have a Bombos. We got a Pendant Desert Palace play from Obscure on the left side, so this is looking good for Top Life. You know, Obscure had a pretty significant crystal lead just because of being able to finish bosses the first time visiting them. But Top Life now has nearly all the keys to finish out this seed. Just gotta find out
Nice mushroom.
what medallion we need here for Misery Mire, and we might actually be in Momo? He's confident. He's going for it. He doesn't have it. It's probably Ether. He's leaving.
Well, it's going to be underneath the doorstep.
That does happen quite often.
But we don't know because every time when the chest opens up, we never get to see it.
Well. Well, he didn't
don't
get
want
it because he
Ether,
just
though.
paused his game, so now we know.
Yeah, we don't have either there.
All right, well, if you're Top Life, do you just go straight to Ice Palace and hope for the best, or do you check a couple extra spots? Because you want to be able to sequence break or go mode Ice Palace and skip a bunch of stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, until Obscure Lifeform heads back up to the mountain, which honestly is a tough call to make because you're going up there. He's holding out for the mitts so we can do Ether Tablet and then right side, or just do right side by itself. And that, unfortunately, is not going to work out for him because the mitts are up there. And fortunately for him, Top Life going to get this mushroom too and probably make the same plays. So he's not going to lose much time from that. Might skip the fake powder, though. Oof.
Well, we're going to get to see Checkerboard Cave, maybe.
Nope.
No, I guess not.
Guess it was nothing. Well, Top Life is going to get his blue mail over here. So based on that, we know that Top Life hasn't done Pyramid Fairy. There was a mail upgrade in there as well. But it looks like Obscure is heading up the mountain, so we will be seeing nothing. Jeez. We'll be seeing those mitts relatively soon.
Well, there's the blue mail for Top Life.
Alright, so with these mitts, we've got what? Smith Chain Hammer Pegs. We've got all of Ice Palace. We've got all of Pendant, Green Pendant T Rock, and they can do it all.
That's beautiful.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Now the question is, did Top Life pick... I'm assuming Top Life... Yeah, probably has that lamp. Yep, has that lamp. Picked it up in Swamp Palace. So Top Life gonna take that lamp back to Pod to go finish that, get that crystal.
And
So
finish off Eastern, too.
yeah, and at this point, Obscure... Well, has to finish East Death Mountain, but...
Hey, Willard.
Hey!
What's the item that has always been the go mode item of this league?
Boots?
No.
Sword? Ether?
Ether. It's like
Okay.
Ether's become the medallion of this league.
Has it?
And yet again, we're going into a good old treasure hunt to find that Ether medallion.
Guess I haven't been watching enough League matches. Yeah, the medallion go mode for Mire, it does tend to show up quite a bit, and it's that or Fluid, it's just hankering down there in Turtle Rock.
And it could very well be in Turtle Rock.
You know, it might be in Turtle Rock too. That'd be a good place for it.
Guess where Obscure Lifeform's going?
Turtle Rock?
No.
Oh, okay. This makes sense. Another crystal dungeon. Might as well head on over. And, you know, we got the cool, fancy icebreaker that we can do to make routing this dungeon literally free.
You want to talk about this icebreaker stuff?
Sure.
Because it's coming up real fast.
Yeah. I mean, it allows you to skip the Ice Palace bomb jump, which is especially nice. Allows you to skip a lot of rooms. And basically, it's using this weird door state glitch or whatnot. I don't really know the proper terms for all this stuff, but basically you do some fancy setups, you place a Samaria block, and then you push the block, and it makes you walk through basically the width of one of these little barriers that are in this room. I'm getting ahead of myself because we might not even see it from Obscure, but
it's good to set it up in case he does do it, so people know, and it's not like, oh, hey, here it is.
Yeah, Icebreaker is pretty great because it's just a nice, new, fun way to route this dungeon, and you can only do it if you have Samaria, so it just kind of opens up new routing opportunities. That's a really rude place to put a spike.
We're not going to
time to
get the
react.
Icebreaker.
No Icebreaker, all right. So we are going to get good old Ice Palace Classic coming up. All of its different flavors.
Oh, no, we are getting it. We just had to change the switch over. We had to hit the switch first.
Yeah, I guess that does work out if like Ether's chilling over here, because then he can go mode the rest of the dungeon.
Here we go.
So you walk to the right, set it up. You tap left once, and then you hold down. Oh, didn't get it. Try again. Go to the right. One. Oh, there's a Well Master in here. Dude, did the Randomizer devs like sneak a Wall Master in this room just for Randomizer, just because of Icebreaker? Because I totally see that they would have done that.
They do it on purpose.
Tap left, hold down. There you go.
That's the way you walk through a barrier. We get ourselves a key as a result.
And that's perfectly legal, guys.
Yes, it is. It was voted on Saturday to be included. In the meantime, things are happening.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch Obscure stream for now. Good luck, topplife. I don't know what's happening over there. Oh, what an awful room. Those enemies are just terrible. I hate those enemies so much.
Oh, I hate them too.
They're just so good at placing those bombs, like right where you want to go, right where you're trying to go.
I think I had them in a practice seat of this in the maze room with the Balance of Darkness.
Ugh. Well,
yeah, exactly.
It's even worse because, like, if you're in the dark, you can't even use them to figure out where you are because they can just fly over everything.
We've got a map. We've got ourselves an attempt at a bomb jump.
There's so many ways to set up this bomb jump. This will allow him to go check the iced tea room. We've seen... What have we seen for items? Bombs? I think that's it.
That's about it.
2 items left in here.
That's right.
2 items and 1 small key, I think, are still MIA currently.
That's right. We might see that key here. But it's not.
Okay.
It's 20 rupees.
Did we ever see what our sun prize was? I don't think we did. Maybe.
I haven't been keeping track of that. Cold Stare for topplife is going to be a little easier.
Blue mail, tempered sword.
Frozen frames.
Frozen frames.
Oh. Lost him out of the corner, though.
Oh no, not these vanilla penguins. Anything but that. Alright, topplife does take down, get his revenge on Cold Stare, gets another crystal.
Heart container.
Now it's gonna come down to where's this ether?
That's right.
If it ends up being in T-Rock and Top Life makes that play first and then can go mode Ice Palace, we might see a shift.
So,
This is tough. Like, this is a hard place to be because you also have Smith Chain that you can consider. Oh my god, this is the worst place for the anti-fairies. It's terrible.
yeah, for certain. All right, what are we gonna get downstairs? Nope, Top Life is heading right straight for Ice Palace. And there's our Armos.
Both players gonna be happy that they have that bow. Make this
Yes.
fight a lot easier.
Oh yeah,
And
for
it's,
sure.
a similarly shaped rooms. Still get it to do your normal quick kill setup. Mirror Shield. Hey, you know what's useful? You know what Mirror Shield's useful for, Rick?
Red Mimics.
Increasing lag. That was
Wiz
actually
robes.
the answer. Beamos. Oh wait, no, that's no. Never mind.
They should work against Beamos, but they don't.
should, and I'm mad that they don't.
Yeah, no.
Um,
We shall riot.
I'm
Wait,
gonna call.
get your mirror shield. We're rioting.
Right. All right. I could see, yeah. Because of the fact that Obscure skipped out on Hookshot Cave, the Hookshot Cave into T-Rock seems like the right play, but at the same time, I wonder if Top Life's going to actually take Smith Chain after Ice Palace, and this is a very similar scenario that I was in a race I did the other day, where it's like, I have this, or I have Hookshot Cave into T-Rock with Green Pendant. And you know what didn't have what I was looking for? Hookshot Cave T-Rock into Green Pendant. So, but it's a lot of items, so the probability is in Obscure's favor, for sure.
Maybe we'll just find the boots in Turtle Rock.
Are you leading towards maybe a pedestal seed, Rick?
I was talking about finding maybe the Ether and Desert, but if you're talking pedestal, we can definitely encourage that too.
I mean, might as well. That would be the worst scenario, generally.
What's the best scenario? Because I think we've kind of gotten fully away from the best case scenario at this point.
It really depends on the player. For Obscure, first chest T-Rock would be pretty sweet. For Top Life, somewhere not on the mountain.
For certain. Shoutouts to Frunkin, who's doing the tracking for us. Just a quick note, we do have Ice Palace defeated on ObscureLifeForm's side, giving him 6 crystals at this stage.
So it's interesting that both players ended up finding the 4th sword elsewhere. I guess one of them was Left Side Swamp, and the other one was in the Spike Cave. So both sitting at Tempered Sword, which without silvers feels pretty comfy.
Oh, for certain. ObscureLifeForm sees the bombos, and so therefore now knows I have to get that bombos off the island.
We spent all those seconds talking about Icebreaker, and we're not going to see it, and that's okay.
Well, we did see Icebreaker from ObscureLifeForm.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry. I forgot. I was reading chat, and chat messed with my mind. Anyway.
Chat always messes with our mind.
Imagine reading chat ever.
I know.
I'm just kidding, chat. You guys are great.
Shout out to the 480 of you that are watching us here on Speed Gaming 2 and the hundreds and thousands of you watching us on YouTube afterwards. ALTTPR League.com. Get your information about the standings, the schedules, and all that about the league. ALTTPR League.com. Which Willard and I are a part of.
Yeah, and I'm of the opinion that it's going to be really tough to go back to a standard tournament after this, because this has just been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And how nice. You and I had to, your team had to face my team in week 1.
Yeah, we had really exciting matches over there. One that I really enjoyed commentating.
Yeah, I know.
Might not have liked the results, but I enjoyed it.
It was a 1-1 split. I mean, it could have been worse. Armos Knight's here coming up for Top Life. We'll probably be no magic. With no magic remaining, probably likes the fact that these are the Armos Knights.
All right. Pendant Turtle Rock. We've got 5 items in here, a 6th item at Mimic Cave, and then a 7th item at that green pendant.
Top Life, please don't die to the Armos Knights. There we go.
Show us Ether. Big Key, which would be great if this was a crystal and you were in Go mode, because early Big Key usually means you get to skip a few things here in T-Rock, but we are not skipping anything until we find that Ether medallion. And now comes the real question. Is Top Life going to follow Obscure in his footsteps, or is he going to head and do something different, like the Smith Chain or the Hammer Pegs? He knows that he can get into T-Rock right now. He knows that it's an option.
Might be thinking that his opponent might be going on those options, which is the truth, so we'll go on opposite options at this time. We're knotted up, 6 crystals apiece. First to find Ether gets a big advantage. Noble Fox is hoping to score their first win of the season. Top Life trying to go above 500 at 3-2.
This right here is going to probably decide this match.
It sure will.
Now, of course, Top Life's going to finish out the Smith Chain faster.
Oh boy. Security!
The bouncer said, no, you're not allowed in.
This is why having Cape or the Cane of Burna is really, really nice at Randomizer.
Yeah, there's just some instances where there's no way you can not get hit, take damage, or get knocked back, so you kind of always need to have that in your back pocket.
Boots!
Hey, didn't you call that, Rick? Well, now
Yes,
that pistol's looking, boy, it's looking. I believe there is still also an item in Desert somewhere, because we did just get the mushroom, I'm pretty sure, so.
Yeah, it was mushroom in the first chest. We had no other exploration. I really hope we can get on the right frame here for Top Life and see what is inside of this.
My favorite is it's just the bug net. If Ether was there, then he'd still have to turn in the frog just to get rid of him. I love that.
Yep.
Well, here's something else to take into consideration. If Ether ends up being in the Smith Chain, but GT Big Key ends up being on the torch, and Top Life misses those boots, well, things are going to get interesting. But we are down to what? Just these 2 items? We're not going to see that one.
It was Ether! It's a Brent Smith!
It was
there
Ether!
It is!
Oh! His hesitation, I was like, okay, he got it. He had to have gotten something. All right, well, that thing that I was just talking about might happen, but Top Life might be able to steal this one away. It felt like Obscure had pretty good lead going into, about halfway into this race, but Top Life turning things around, grabbing Ether first, and it's not looking good for Noble Foxes at the moment. But, like I said, if those boots are required to get the big key off the torch and GT, then Obscure's gonna flip that lead upside down.
Oh, for certain.
Yeah, this is unfortunate though, because Obscure still has a lot of T-Rock left to conquer, and he could end up finding the shovel, or well, I guess that's the only fetch quest you could still find in here to send him elsewhere. But it's looking like a last location for him. Okay, well, hold on. There's the silvers in Mimic Cave.
And that's something that Top Life is never going to get.
So, despite the fact that Obscure's going to be checking a lot more stuff, he's going to be able to do stuff a little bit faster because he has the boots, and his Ganon fight's going to be a little bit quicker. Now, the difference between silvers and not silvers with Tempered Sword is somewhat minimal. Not going to be that significant, but maybe with the combination of boots, it might be enough to even things out.
And then we go dark.
Somebody get us a lamp.
The lamp's in Swamp, Willard.
All right, I'm on my way. So, how you guys doing? You guys having fun? All right, we're back. Well, almost back. I see the light. It's very bright and also green, and there's like these cool... I gotta say, I really do enjoy the design of these overlays. They are very nice looking.
Oh, yeah.
the boxes with the names and stuff. I like the texture of them. It looks good. It's very nice. And it's, you know, it's matching the Z of the Zelda emblem. So it's all good. I like it. It's fine though, because we've already seen all the important items, so who cares what they found? It doesn't help us. Though we are still looking for that big key over here in Meyer. Yeah, it's an unfortunate scenario when you pick the higher probability play, the longer play, but the higher probability play, and ends up not being the answer. There's our Burna, so another safety item here.
Oh yeah.
Meyer.
Not really gonna complain about that, but
Nice little Samaria dash there to get both those switches. Took a little bit of time to get it set up, but still got it off and made it look nice. Alright, big key in Meyer is going to end up being vanilla. You can always tell because if there's a small key in the compass room, then the big key is going to be here. And we got a blind here in Turtle Rock, so this will be a quick fight for Obscure. Not as quick as, say, like a Moldorm, but still pretty quick.
I do want to point out that we still have one more boss that we could still see a duplicate of. Otherwise, it's going to be everyone we haven't seen so far.
We haven't seen Trinex, we haven't seen Vitreous. We haven't seen any Moldorns either. Alright, topplife. Big key in hand, just has to go fight the boss and we'll be heading up to Cannon's Tower. Obscure is gonna go turn in that green pennant. Then needs to go head on over and save the blacksmith for that ether medallion.
He sure does.
Obscure has a pretty steep mountain to climb if he wants to climb back into this race.
I see what you did there.
For some points for his team.
I see exactly what you did there.
Well, you didn't have to call it out. It's about subtlety. You calling it out makes it less good. You know what I mean?
Red Rupee. The best thing to get from Sahasrahla after you've gone through a deep dungeon like Turtle Rock.
Rick is just so good at, like, shutting down whatever you're talking about, just to point out something.
That's
Rick,
what I do
I'm so
best.
glad you hopped on commentary for this. Glad to have you, bud.
Now, the unfortunate thing about the boots for Noble Fox is that we're going to be checking things like the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
Yeah, that's true. And at this point, there's nothing else that he could find that would benefit him.
Absolutely.
Because we already know...
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Well, gosh, this looks so similar to this race that I lost recently. This is literally what happened.
Well, there is a
Tiron
team...
had nothing but fetch quests, and it just sent me even further down the spiral. Oh, that sucks.
There is a team in this division called the Shovel is the True Go Mode, and we get Argus at Vitreous.
Yeah, that was another one of the bosses we haven't seen yet. Ooh, Topplife gotta be a little bit careful. Gonna have to pop that blue potion.
Yeah,
Or
gonna pop
red.
the red one. Obscure Lifeform now going to go check the shovel. Noble Foxes instill into Obscure Lifeform's head. Breadsmith Chain.
I'm curious if Topplife was trying to go for like the cheeky quick kill on Argus, where you kind of like hook shot, poke dash all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But really hard to tell what's going on over there. But it does take down Argus. Grabs that map, gets that last crystal, and you know what that means, Rick?
I do believe that means that we have 7 crystals. And 7 just so happens to be the requirement to go inside Ganon's tower this week.
Oh,
Well, it was last week and the week before that, but this week.
what are we looking for in there?
So
around that
we're gonna go inside of that place, and we're gonna go ahead and open up some chests in hopes of finding this large thing called the big key.
Now,
That will allow you to scale the tower. We got this game that is going on with people putting numbers into chat. We got some people putting in some honest numbers, and then we have some people putting in some fake numbers. I saw you doing that. It cannot be in that chest, no matter how much you try. So, with that being said, get your guesses in the chat. Tell us what you think the big key location is going to be. Willard, where do you think it's going to be?
I mean, obviously, Torch would be the most unfortunate and or hilarious scenario. And if you pick anything but the Torch, well, if you pick Torch, then we know your bias in favor of Noble Foxes.
There's
Don't
the
pick the Torch,
Foxes.
then you're rooting for Top Life. So,
But here's the thing. If we find that the boots are required for the big key, wouldn't Top Life make one of his first checks, Turtle Rock, after he leaves the tower?
yeah, that's true. And it's
But
only
he
in
wouldn't-
chain chomps, so it'd be very quick.
But he wouldn't get the silvers. That's the only big
No.
difference here. But we'll see how it goes. Still some time to get your guesses in. Now here's the thing. We may not know which chest the big key is going to be in.
We'll just know when he's going upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, after all that, sitting at an hour 35 about to open up GT is, a relatively good time for Top Life, especially after, how a bit of a rough start it was, kind of dying to some of the bosses. He was behind on crystals for a bit compared to his opponent. But, yeah, first one getting mitts was kind of what helped him out quite a bit early on.
Oh, yeah. All right, Top Life going over to the right-hand side. Is there a hope? Well, there's a small key.
Heading back to the left now.
Is the big key here on the torch?
Is this it? Are we gonna see it? It's
It's not. It's a heart container.
And it looks like Top Life will be, barring some catastrophe, taking this match with we still have plenty of dungeon left to go, but he's got quite the lead over Obscure. But Obscure's gonna make up a lot of time with those boots and then those silvers on Ganon, so it really kind of depends on how the bosses lay out in up the tower and how many potions Top Life has. I believe still has one blue potion at this point still.
Here's the thing. The silver arrows are going to help ObscureLifeForm out. We've seen races that come down to it, but the difference between these two runners at this point, knowing that Obscure has to go to the vanilla big key location,
Ooh, she's not doing.
but she's not doing at this point. That's rude.
Nice BMOs. Look like bombs.
Yeah, it was bombs. But the big major component here is this gap is just a little too far back at this stage. Now maybe Top Life does the entire tower to find out that the big key's on the right hand side, and ObscureLifeForm catches up a little bit of that gap by going right side first, which we do have a small key in Hope Room. It is possible, but we don't know. We'll see how this finale goes. Plus the tower. Randomizer can really make the tower interesting.
Yeah, and especially if we see, have two Vitruviuses up here where even silver arrows would be pretty beneficial. But right now, both players with a very low arrow count. So that wouldn't be very helpful altogether. We got
an extra arrow now.
There's one more. There's the map. There's some bombs, and last but not least, a blue rupee.
Blue rupee. There's the big key for ObscureLifeForm.
And of course, unless Big Key's chilling in Bob's chest, we might have Trinex on ice.
Oh gosh.
It's very possible.
We could still have another cold stare.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point, that'd be rude.
Hit the arrows. Oh.
He didn't. I know it's a long walk to get those arrows.
Well, he'll get one here.
Yeah. I know that from experience in my last match. Shadows no arrows after ice armos. All right, Hope. Or Bob's chest, rather.
Small key.
All right, which boss are we dropping into?
It is gonna be a
Trinex on ice.
Now, here's the other thing: is Obscure does have that red mail. That could make a difference if Topplife has a bit of trouble here. No half magic. We haven't seen that yet. He has one blue potion, as far as I know, but he's down to 2 hearts. He's gonna have to drink that right away.
Yeah, which was gonna come back here. We never saw the magic powder. Now we can do fake powder. We saw Topplife do fake powder earlier.
Okay, that's 1 down. 1 more to go. And magic is not a concern anymore. Topplife is looking good. Look like he'll be able to take down this Trinex.
There's part 2.
Yeah, he should have this thing. Now, the other thing we got to consider, as you said, we've only seen 1 cold stare. Oh, gosh.
There.
Okay. Couldn't really tell, but it did not look good in that freeze frame.
Yeah, that freeze frame right there with 2 hearts remaining, you thinking he just died. And that's not a good place to die.
It's not a good place to put your shell Trinex either.
It's not there, it's right side.
Okay, well, dude, if Obscure goes like Stalfos room to full or to right side, this could even things up even more. Obscure on a tear had a much faster Argus fight, especially using 1 silver arrow to take down phase 2. But yeah, being able to skip that Trinex. So it really comes down to what route ObscureLifeForm takes. If he follows the same route, there's probably no way he can come back from this unless, you know, the rare scenario. Well, even if we got a cold stare up at like Moldorn 2, Topplife does have bombos, so unless he uses all of his magic prior to that.
But we could still have a Vitreous.
Could still have a Vitreous.
2.5 hearts left remaining for Topplife. Gonna have to be careful. 3.5 hearts. As ObscureLifeForm gets ready to scale the tower.
See, that is my opinion why I think the left Stalfos room to right side compass room and then full left would be beneficial, because if you could skip the boss at Ice Armos, especially if it's like a Trinex or something difficult, it's better. It's a better scenario.
Here's the thing, Willard. If ObscureLifeForm goes full right, this is a race.
Yeah, there was a key on the right side. Unless it's... What do we got?
That's...
Oh, don't tell me.
He's got it. He's got it.
He's got it. He's going up. Okay.
We don't know which chest that was, though. We know which order he did it in. We're going to have to wait for ObscureLifeForm to do the chests to see which one it was, if it was bottom right or top left.
I want to say it was top left, which would have been 21, since the only thing we had left was tile room. But yeah, now comes the real...
We'll confirm with
deciding
ObscureLifeForm first before we officially reward the points. It's either 19 or 21.
If he goes full right, or at least right to compass room, I think with his boots and silvers, he'd have enough to actually bring this.
He might have a chance.
Will he switch to Samaria?
He's going.
He's going for it. Okay.
He's going for it, Willard. This could be another Silver Arrows match, and I know of a match that came down to that. It was against your team.
Yeah, I remember. I seen it.
that was your salty earlier moment. Okay, so if it's bottom right, it's chest number 19. If it's top left, it's chest number 21 for the big key guessing game. And Topplife could have been very well just checking just to get the silvers, or maybe see if he could get the silvers. All right, so there's 1, there's 2. It's bottom right. It's 19.
All right, Obscure, skip their other chests to get this guaranteed small key from the pot here. Gonna head up, and we've got a race. We are not very far apart, and those boots and those silvers are gonna make a difference, especially when it comes to these bosses.
Oh, yeah.
Topplife using his magic to take out these Hinoxes.
Yeah. Edium and Wilshire, they were correct, but Angel HZ with the exact guess of 19. Wait a second, aren't they one of the teammates? They are.
Maybe they have insider info.
Insider information, or maybe just cheerleading at this point.
So it's also worth pointing out, because of the tech issues over on Toplife's side, his stream is actually a little bit behind. So this might be closer than it is, or further than it is. I don't know, it's hard to tell. 50 seconds difference.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting a little bit of lagging here thanks to Toplife. He's been having some issues with the stream. We know he's using bombos inside the gauntlet. That's another place where Obscure Lifeform's going to excel these silvers.
He needs
in
to
the
go grab.
gauntlet.
He needs to grab as many arrows as he can. I think there's a 5 arrow in the bottom right pot down there. He also needs to not whiff any of these.
Well, we get a Helmsar King at the
Needs
Lamo
to
2
save him.
fight.
Well, that is our... Wait, that means we've had what? Two Mothulas?
Two Mothulas.
And two... What was the other one? 2 Landmullas.
Yeah, 2 Lamos, 2 Mothulas. Interesting thing is we're going to see which one we get the 5th. We're going to get the other duplicate of in just a moment. Oh no, Vitreous has to be up at Moldworm.
Too. Okay, well... The interesting thing about that, though, is, you know, of course, Obscure needs to hold on to those silvers for the Ganon fight. So not going to be able to use them on video unless he finds some arrows. There is a couple arrows right past the Landmula's 2 room.
Yeah, it's...
Remembers to go do that, but he has not been...
Wait a second.
What?
Have we seen a helmet? We haven't seen a Moldworm, have we?
Oh, no, we haven't.
Something...
Did we see 2 more? Well,
Toplife having some issues in this room as Obscure Lifeform is closing the gap really, really fast.
down to 4 arrows. Definitely needs to grab those arrows in the next.
Yeah, he's got to get this 5-drop in this room. He's got to get this 5-drop.
Nice
We haven't seen Desert. That's right. We haven't seen Desert Boss. We do know Lambo's at the Thieves Town, so that's why our math is wrong. So it's either Vitreous or Moldworm coming up here at the Moldworm 2 spot.
Would be kind of boring if it had wrapped up with a Molder and had Moldern too, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, I feel like Obscure is making up good time. If Toplife decides to check any of these chests, might check. Okay, he's checked 1.
So we know there was a Lamo at Thieves Town.
Ah, the arrows. He just keeps running past him.
He's got 9 of them. I think he's fine at this point. Okay. Fake powder set up here for Obscure Lifeform. Oh no, he doesn't have it. Never mind. No mushroom. Yeah, I guess he realizes no mushroom.
And now he has to use his last potion just to light these torches, so...
Oh, we have Moldorm at Moldorm.
Okay, well, that is good for Toplife.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of hard to say, even... I feel like Toplife has to, like, have some sort of error coming up. Now, we've seen it before. There could still be a Wallmaster in this last room of GT. We have seen that happen.
Yeah, we had that happen in one of the races earlier this week. But a few rooms back as Toplife gets ready to head upstairs. Uses the cape.
Yeah, he knows better.
Yeah.
It's like, I ain't even gonna deal. But I think it's
140.
like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say 148.38 is his timestamp out of the 6th floor, especially since these two are desynced at this point.
Yeah, so I think he's a little bit further ahead than we're seeing right now. So this lead's a little bit bigger. But unless he has a spare green potion, it says he has 4 bottles, and I believe we did see a green potion somewhere. You know, he's gonna need a little bit of magic for this Ganon fight.
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine what Obscure is looking for at this point, but grabs the last chest. Toplife having a little bit of trouble with this Aga 2 fight. I couldn't even tell you how many times he's hit him.
Yeah.
And now we've gone silent.
Well, Aga 2 is down for Toplife. As Obscure Lifeform gets ready to go into the next stage of this tower.
Oh, we're getting a resync. Nice. Okay. That's how close it is. About an Aga 2 difference. So
Here we go.
it's going to come down to how well Toplife can take on this Silverless Ganon. I mean, here's the thing. You're at the end of the Randomizer seed. Randomizer part of the game is almost over. So now you just got to do basic Ganon combat.
Mm-hmm. Obscure Lifeform's up to 4 hits on Aga right now. That's 5 and 6. We're going on to Ganon.
Will it be enough? Will these silvers be enough?
Toplife is having to use up another blue potion.
Okay, you did have another one. That's good.
Into stage 3.
Ho, 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 ho. It's going to be close.
Pulls out the lamp, getting ready. Silverless fight for Toplife. Silver fight for Obscure Lifeform. Tempered sword for both. Can Obscure Lifeform score his team the first win? Can Toplife go to 3 and 2? The 4 parts of the floor have crumbled. Toplife gets the torch glitch. Unfortunately, because of the frames at this point, with Toplife having some issues, we can't see how many hits he has total on the Ganon fight. Obscure Lifeform down to 3 hearts.
Missing a spin right there. He can't afford to miss any of them.
Yeah, that could really come back to haunt him here. Obscure Lifeform, 3 parts of the floor down.
I don't think there was that many warps either.
No, there wasn't. There's the 4th right there.
Oh, if
Silver
Obscure can
arrows
get, like,
are out.
A double or a triple. That's
Single
a good
right
setup.
there.
He gets the torch glitch right in the middle. Oh, a little too slow.
So he's going to get a double here. As Toplife continues with his Ganon fight. But Obscure Lifeform gets him up to the corner. Toplife not done yet. Obscure Lifeform comes back from behind to score his team their first win. Explosion for Toplife. This is close.
Why is Toplife standing in the middle of the room? Go to the top.
Obscure Lifeform first.
Oh my goodness.
152-13 Obscure Lifeform, 152-19 Toplife, 6 seconds apart.
And that is not close enough to be a tie. So Obscure, out of nowhere, takes the win for Noble Foxes, puts them on the board. Wow, what a crazy turn.
Right side decision for Obscure Lifeform, put him back into the race.
Jeez.
Toplife would have had it if Obscure Lifeform went left side.
Well, I mean, it evens out. Obscure did all of T-Rock, so Toplife did all of GT. Now they're even. That's why it was 6 seconds. Unbelievable. Dude, it's hard to believe how powerful those silver arrows really are in this scenario. But yeah, silvers plus boots was enough for Obscure to bring this one back. Wow.
What a finish. We're going to get both of these in here so we can talk about this as we do welcome in our 2 finishers, Obscure Lifeform and Toplife. GG's. What a race.
Yeah, GG Toplife. That was something.
You got your revenge.
Yeah. There's a little bit of history with me and Toplife we have a little minor tournament going in the Nordic, and last season he clean sweeped me 2-0. So when I saw I was in the Skullwoods group with Top Life, I was like, I don't care what week it is, I'm against Top Life. I need my revenge.
That's great.
And you just scored it by 6 seconds.
I know. I don't know. Oh, I like last week with the Ambrosia, I got sniped by 20 seconds. This week, 6 seconds. Like my blood pressure is going to be super high by the end of this tournament.
Shout out to the Mids location. Top Life, you figured it out faster, but it was definitely an interesting location for the Mids being up there on the mountain. Obscure, you went into the Ether tablet blind. Top Life, what went through your mind when you saw this can let you lift heavier things?
Well, the first thing I saw is if I don't get mirror soon, this is a loss. It's just Master Sword is out there somewhere. I need to do this climb again. Just hope I find mirror before it else. Yeah. But then when I found mirror, it was just, oh, I got Master Sword and I go mode. I almost was sure. Like, yeah, if only Mr. Meyer hadn't been so trolly.
Yep, of course, another Ether hunt. Obscure Lifeform going up to Turtle Rock. Top Life opting to do the Breadsmith chain, and it turned out the Breadsmith chain was the right answer, but Gannett's Tower routing plus the silver arrows giving Obscure Lifeform another chance at scoring their team, their first one of the season.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this VOD back because I think, from what I feel like, it just kind of swapped hands over and over again. Like 1 minute I'm in the lead, next minute Top Life's in the lead, and it sounds like a good race right to the end. It's just unpredictable who would have finished that one.
Yeah, I was also when I did the GT routing too. It's like, and I found Ice Trinix. I had no idea how to fight Ice Trinix.
Oh goodness, that was a scary fight, and you were going on freeze frames every now and then through that fight. So here's the frame stops with him on top of you with 2 hearts. We're thinking you just died right there.
I tried to dodge with boots and such, but I don't have boots, and I had to remind myself like 3 or 4 times during that fight.
Now, as you're climbing up the tower, how happy were you to see Moldorm 2 at Moldorm?
I actually didn't care that much what it was.
For me,
it
was
wasn't my focus at all.
It was a relief. The bosses it decided to pick in this seed were horrible. Like I don't know who decided to put Lamols on a moving floor with spikes around, but that was just the worst feeling ever. And then the cold stare fight as well, trying to do it fighter sword and hammer.
That was a really rough start to the seed there.
Yeah, so when I saw Moldon, I was like, at least it's finished off on a strong. It's like, I can't take this anymore. It's like, it's already stressed enough about fighting all these hard bosses, but it was nice to see him up there.
I think the last question I really have to ask about this is, how about that advanced logic lamp location?
Yeah, advanced logic in Randomizer is, something else.
Near blocking the lamp that was in Swamp Palace.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize. I was still trying to work out what the seed wanted me to do because it just, for me, it just felt like a bit of a mess. But I think Top Light was right when he said you find the mirror and the rest of the game makes sense. But yeah, it was a hard one to figure out.
One of the questions I had, which we missed just because Top Life was having some stream frame issues. Your Master Sword, where did you get that?
Swamp Palace big chest.
Okay.
All right. That's what I was wondering, because we were waiting for you to do Spike Cave for a sword, so you can go get those mitts. But then
there you are heading for the tablet right away.
They're like, well, you must have got something out of swamp, and you know the rules. There's always a sword in swamp, so that was one of the pretty key moment in that race. But yeah, that was a wild finish. GG's to both you guys. That was fun.
Yeah, GG Top Life. I think we need a round 3 at some point in the near future.
Please no Randomizer.
And thanks, Willard and Rick, for doing comms and the trackers and the restream. My apologies, I'm not sure who was tracking, but thank you, whoever it was.
Yeah, thanks for restream. Sorry I had some lag frames today, but yeah.
Now the interesting thing is that because both of you are the same pendant, the blue pendant, should both of you teams make the playoffs, you might get that round again. You might get that rematch.
I hope so. It's always fun playing against Top Life. It's a challenge, and I love a good challenge. So I appreciate you racing, and I hope we do it again soon.
Yeah, same thing back to you.
It was an exciting race to call. Thank you very much for both of you for giving us a great show on this Randomizer seed.
All right, Rick. Well, I feel like you've already told everyone about all the matches that are going on today, but if you want to give them a quick reminder of what they can go watch coming up next, I think we are basically done here, sir.
All right, I think we could probably square a little time to talk about what we got coming up on quite a busy evening. Currently going on progress right now, we have Reds facing off against Frostbite. That's the match between Team 63 to third versus Fiandra Drifters. That's a battle for first place. That's going on right now as we speak. Coming up in just a little bit here on this channel, we are going to have a match between another Skullwoods division match. Major Mistakes taking on the UbscureLifeForm niche, because you want me to say that again. Tito versus DB Signs, that will be coming up here on Speed Gaming 2 in about 30 minutes from now, with Days Cloud and Worldwide Wimpy on the call. Old Swagger Johnson going up against the Super Salty Dungeoneers, Quern versus Dark Rid 12. Quern hoping to get his team their first win of the season. That's coming up at 7:10, an hour from now over on Speed Gaming 5. Two Pearl, Two Furious against Yu-Tang Clan. That'll be coming up on Speed Gaming. Doubleheader for that team tonight. Play French Canadians versus Swedish Rubbers. Ryback versus Hobo Jim. That's on Speed Gaming 4. Beard Force 1 versus Tile Roomies. Unknown Availability versus Hazu Kitty on ALTTPR League 3. Team 63 and a third Fiandra Drifters. Guchiri versus Jet 82 over on the main link to the PS Randomizer League channel. Did you check your boots versus Seal W at 9:10? The Missing Links versus Team Kappa at 9:40. They must be stopped. Two Pearl to Furious Yu-Tang Clan, the back half of that doubleheader at 9:40 p.m. tonight. A lot of great other races going up this week. ALTTPRleague.com to find out what's going on. That's going to do it for us.
Alrighty, well, it's been a fun one, guys. We'll see you in the next one. I've been Willard J. Bradley. Adirondack Rick, final words to sign us off, buddy.
Let's shout out both of our runners, Top Life, ObscureLifeForm. It was a great race, a lot of fun. Shoutouts to Frunkin doing the tracking for us, and shoutouts to all of you that was watching us here on Speed Gaming 2. Have yourselves a good evening, everyone.